The turkey was still giving off steam when my father spoke. Paying bills doesn't make you family. The room fell silent instantly. Forks hovered midair, and everyone's eyes darted between us like a match about to start. My mother shot me a warning look, that silent plea to keep my temper in check. But I didn't need to say anything. My father was doing enough damage on his own. Across the table, my brother Daniel sat with that familiar smirk, the same smug, golden boy grin he'd worn since he first failed out of college. The dreamer, the favorite, the one who could do no wrong despite doing absolutely nothing. I was the one who kept the lights on, who paid the mortgage, the hospital bills, and the insurance. For 6 years, I carried it all quietly. I looked straight at my father and said evenly, "Then you can handle the $9,600 due this month." My voice was calm, almost amused. Mom's whisper came fast, trembling. "You're just jealous of your brother." I smiled faintly. Let's test that theory. That night, while they laughed and slept under the roof I'd been paying for, I began unraveling everything. It had started years ago when Dad's company went under and Daniel's so-called business ideas bled through every dollar and ounce of patience we had. I just landed a good job in tech, steady pay and benefits. So I stepped in, not out of duty, but out of love. I told myself it was temporary, that one day they'd recognize what I'd done for them. But love, I've learned, blinds you to numbers and fairness. Then I started noticing small changes. The electric bill came addressed to Daniel and family. My name was gone. Mom posted on Facebook, "So proud of my boys. Daniel's helping us through such hard times." Helping? He hadn't paid a single cent. Then came the whispers. When I came home late from work, they'd stop talking mid-sentence. I catch fragments. "She's cold." Mom would sigh. Dad would grunt in agreement. Too much like her mother's side. They were right. I am like my mother's side, disciplined, precise, and patient. The real turning point came last spring. I wired the property tax payment as usual, but the county's records showed it was still unpaid. When I checked the bank statement, the transfer had gone into an account under Daniel's name, $4,800. That was the moment I stopped being their safety net. I started preparing. Quietly, I listed every account, every auto pay, every connection tied to my name. The phone plan, the insurance, the mortgage, the utilities, all of it. I didn't argue, didn't confront. I simply waited, watching them believe the story that Daniel was taking care of things now. By Thanksgiving, everything was ready. I had shifted all my payments into a private holding account, one command away from stopping it all. So when Dad said, "Paying bills doesn't make you family," he unknowingly gave me the permission I needed. That night, after everyone had gone to bed, I opened my laptop and began shutting things off. Auto payments, off. Utilities, revoked. Mortgage debit, canceled. Insurance, terminated. In 15 minutes, 6 years of quiet contribution disappeared. The next morning came with confusion and sirens. The power was out, water off, no internet. Daniel's car repossessed, the one I'd co-signed for. Then came the knock. Police. The unpaid taxes and disconnected accounts had triggered a lien review. Dad's voice cracked. There must be some mistake. Mom was sobbing, clutching Daniel's arm. Daniel just stared at me, pale, realization dawning too late. I didn't shout or cry. I simply handed them a folder, every receipt, every transaction, every payment made under my name. "Guess I'm not family anymore," I said quietly. So I took my name off the family bills. The room went still. Dad sank into a chair, unable to meet my eyes. Mom opened her mouth, but no words came. Daniel whispered, shaking, "You did this to us." I tilted my head. "No, you did this to yourselves." I just stopped fixing it. By the end of the week, chaos had set in. They scrambled to call companies, beg for extensions, try to repair what they never managed themselves. They finally understood what $9,600 meant when no one stepped in to cover it. Dad's pride was the first thing to crack. Then Mom's silence followed. Daniel disappeared for days. I moved out that weekend, signed a lease on a small apartment, quiet and fully paid for. For the first time, the air felt light. No weight, no obligations, just peace. Sometimes I replay that Thanksgiving in my mind, Dad's cutting words, Mom's blind loyalty, and my own calm smile. Because revenge isn't always about destruction. Sometimes it's simply about reclaiming what's been yours all along.